Here I am with Matias Kupiainen of Stratovarius. So, how are you doing, Matias?
No, mames. All good here. Fantastic.
Well, that's good. And well, thank you for your time. And let's start with the questions. First of all, for someone who doesn't know Stratovarius, how can you describe the band?
Ooh, this is a good one. Well, Stratovarius is really based on let's say like Nordic metal. It's it's something like where we get all the songs and the melodies are really it's not Slavic, it's more Nordic stuff what we do, and also like mixture of classical music. Someone would say it's also towards for progressive neo classical metal. I think nowadays what we are presenting is more modern neoclassical metal. It's not anymore just a power metal. It's more. I think we have been reinventing us a bit, so it's not anymore just power metal. I would say modern power metal with some neoclassical influences.
Yeah, of course. And for someone who knows the band, it's very known his wide trajectory. But talking about from Polaris when you entered to the band, since now, how can you describe the evolution of Stratovarius?
Ooh, yeah, well, I think like every record what we have been doing so far with me, every one has been like really special in that matter that we have been trying to reinvent us in every single album. It's not like doing the same thing every single time. So of course you can still hear like there's some similarities there, but like we really try to not to copy ourselves, so like try to find some new waters and try things out. So it's been kind of like journey, and of course when you want to do that kind of thing, when you need to reinvent yourself like every fucking, I don't know, 3 5 years, it's quite challenging actually, because you need to also prepare the songs. You have to compose the songs in that kind of mindset that let's try something new in this time. Let's not just do the same thing, same formula, every single time. So, and then to do that, you have to reinvent the fucking wheel every single time, and it sometimes is really painful. but but to me, every single album represents something uh, from us. It's a like a history for us, like what we were actually at that moment, what we were talking about, what we wanted to do, and then we tried to do that what we want to do. Sometimes we succeeded, sometimes not, but like at least we tried. Let's say this way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Talking about composition, well, it's known that Stratovarius take his time for making an album, but now you are working on singles. So how can you describe the work before working a full LPs and right now recording as only as singles?
This is a good question. Like, of course, the composing is ongoing process all the time. It's not something like what stops or ends. So I would not say that we have stopped to do LPs. We will definitely do one at some point when we are feeling comfortable with the songs, that when we have enough songs which represents us like we want to. And that's I think that's the main thing, that it's not just that I go to my studio and then I compose 10 songs and that's an album. It's not this is not how we work. We actually compose like 20, 30, or maybe 40 songs. We might have 40 demos, like crappy super shitty demos, and then we choose from those, okay, this is really good one, let's do a proper demo out of this, and then this one and this one, and then you have this kind of like puzzle, and then you think about it, okay, now we have this like giant ball of shit, and now we take the shit and we polish it, and it's gonna be fucking amazing, and that's what we want to do now. And then the rest of the songs what we had there, they just disappear somewhere, and then we start the cycle like again and again and again and again, you know.
Yeah, of course. So if we must expect maybe some singles before when you're ready to make a full record, I guess.
Yeah, well, also to make a record is well, it's not pain in the ass. It's something like what we do, but it is a pain in the ass. It takes so much time. But well, I think like just to work with single songs, it's a little bit easier, of course. But like whenever we feel like that there's a like really good one, like we can just like finish it and put it out. But well, we haven't been doing that yet, so it's something that what we are still working on.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Talking about maybe in a way another kind of pain in the ass with not the record, it's touring. But what do you feel? You're touring wide years, playing shows in Finland, in your place in Europe, here in North and South America. How can you describe live on tour constantly?
Well, yeah, we tour a lot, but it's not like 24/7, 365 days. Well, of course, like everybody has a family nowadays and stuff like that, so we can't do it basically. But yeah, I it's something what you get used to it. It's so fucking boring. Like you have to basically be in a planes and a buses and vans and shit like that and crappy hotel rooms, you know, like 24 hours before you can actually hit the stage. You play the show, which is ending like 90 minutes. Then you have a couple of cervezas, you pack your shit and you fuck off and you go another 24 hours back home or something like that. It is very, very boring.
Yeah, I guess, and that's importance of the balance of the touring and your personal life. And how can you handle that, Matthias?
Yeah, well, I do. Well, yeah, it's a fine balance. Of course, like I prioritize like everything what Stratovarius does. So like I take that as a priority in my life. Of course, like family comes there as well, but like whenever we need to go, then we need to go. And then of course, like I have my normal jobs on top of it, like studio stuff or like playing guitar or stuff like that. So then I try to do that like normal working hours, Monday to Friday, usually on Monday to Thursday, 9 to 5, kind of like really fucking boring. So I sit inside of my studio and do composing or mixing or producing or whatnot, that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah, yeah, I understand. So talking about the tour here in Mexico. Last time we came with a few city, maybe a six, if I don't get wrong, 2 years ago. Now going to double that cities. How can you see that, Matias? We're living here in Mexico almost a month.
well, last time when we did it, I think it was like totally 10 days what we were there, something like that. And the whole experience was so positive that we decided that, okay, we need to do this sometimes again at some point. And the some point has arrived. So then, as I told you, it was so positive experience. Everything went so smoothly. So we decided, okay, we can put a little bit more gigs there. And we were talking about actually 2 weeks before. So we do a 2 week thing, like 14 days. And now the whole fucking thing now exploded, and now we have like 21 days, which is fantastic. Like I don't complain.
Yeah, that's
As I told you, it was so fantastic experience. Like all the venues, all the people, all the stuff, what happened like between the shows, always fantastic. So,
yeah, that's right. Do you remember something of your last visit here to Mexico?
yes, a lot. Some of them might be some kind of stories which I can't tell. But let's say like I always been big fan of like Mexican food. I had one of my best food experiences last time. Like we went in Mexico City, one of these like is it nowadays in the Michelin book also, this taco stand. I don't remember the name anymore, but it was so great, this taqueria there. And This time I'm definitely gonna go to somewhere and try the barbacoa on Sunday. That's like one like checkpoint to me to do now on this tour. Of course, like seeing all these people, because all these like more rural areas like Pachuca, Agua Calientes, that kind of places. It was so fantastic. I really like the cities there. You have the small, nice communities and all this, how everything works like within the city. It was really nice to observe.
Yeah, that's cool. And musically speaking, how can we most expect for all these 2 weeks of Stratovarius tour?
Well, it's gonna be fucking amazing. Well, yeah, of course, like we try now to get some new songs, but we haven't been playing there so often, like more rarities, like old stuff, and maybe dropping some of the songs what we played now from this newest album, Survive record. We maybe play just a couple of those, and then but take something from the old records like Fourth Dimension or Episode and stuff like that, and try to fit it in there. Um, yeah, it's gonna be fucking epic. I have a good feeling about it.
Yeah, that's right. And talking
Oh,
about you had
oh.
a huge amount of updates here in Mexico. So you have the chance to explore some of your all or rare songs. Can we expect some rarities in your set list here in Mexico?
Yeah. So, well, actually, like we're gonna have like a couple of rehearsals with the band before we start to travel there, and then actually during those rehearsals we can decide like what works and what not. And then I think we're gonna decide the set list like one day before we hit the stage. And then I think we're gonna rehearse more like during the sound checks and stuff like that. So I really hope so that we are able to also vary the shows a bit. It's not gonna be static set list every single night. So well, that's what I hope so. But 90 minutes, that's what we're gonna play, more or less, maybe 100 maximum. So there's a lot of songs what we can fit in now. So it's gonna be a great experience.
Yeah, pretty interesting. So,
Yeah.
and talking about the all the stuff of touring, let me put the shit together. And yeah, so talking about the all the tour, all the music. So, can like, what do you expect of the Mexican audience in this tour?
Mm, well, the Mexico has always been really important to us because it's one of the best countries actually for Stratovarius to visit and play. And every single time when we have been there, the audience has been like super great, no issues at all. Uh, I really like to interact with the Mexican fans. So polite people, always like in a point. What if they need to have something? Of course, we try to give them as much as we can, but like it's never any issues. Like like super nice people.
Yeah, that's right. And we can see the name of the tour, the Quality Tour, with gives the name of a Mexican eagle. How came
Yeah,
that idea to your mind to name that tour in that way?
actually, like we had a bunch of like different names there, and that kind of like of course like we wrote a list, and then, like then I think we voted that okay, like, this actually like this has a good meaning and it sounds fucking great. Let's do that one. So it's there's no like a magic or story behind it. It's just like something like what presents Stratovarius and Mexico together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, Stratovarius has a legend in power metal. And so can you handle and can you make the music of Stratovarius are still are still working on these days, like because we and a lot of fans we think Stratovarius are better than other years.
Yeah, well, I think I said previously, it's something that what we want to do, and we try to reinvent ourselves like for every album and try something new. Of course, like we can talk about aesthetics and stuff like that, but I think like nowadays we are quite solid band, full of like excellent players, and after we have been playing together so many years, like I think like we are like also really really tight group to play together. So it's something like what I feel really privileged to be like with him, like to be surrounded with these amazing musicians. It also like pushes you to give a better performance out of yourself as well.
Yeah, of course. And like you said, you're working with talented musicians, and mainly Timo and Jens, who start, maybe, well, not start a band, but take a long time there. So what, like you said before, you have a long time there, Stratovarius, but what have you learned from Timo and Jens?
Yeah, uh, all this stuff like what I can't say online, but well, I think it's they have like some sort of like a like life philosophy like towards everything, which is kind of like interesting, of course, like how we deal with things and stuff like that. So it's something what you learn with from these people like while been working with them, and of course like we are good friends, so it's not just a like business thing. So uh well, I think like musically speaking, like of course like I have been learning like such a like huge amount of different things from Jens, because like he's amazing, always being amazing, still is amazing. So his knowledge about all these kind of like a chord progressions and what you can do, with moving stuff around with the keyboards and stuff like that. It's always amazing. And then especially like when doing new songs, like his input is sometimes like really let's say invaluable, because like he's the only one who can do that kind of shit. Like I don't know anyone else on earth like who can pull that kind of stuff out. You just say to Jens like, hey Jens, like I need to have this like a spooky Bach kind of thing, but let's go a little bit Yenti, yeah, we want to have this kind of like a meshugga thing, under it. And can you make some chords? Yeah, sure. Okay, here we go. And then he plays. It's like fantastic stuff. You know.
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty cool. And taking another topic, Jens and Lauren said before, power metal needs a reinvention from itself. So, how can you think about the power metal scene nowadays, and how can reinvent it, that scene?
This is actually also what I share. I share exactly the same opinion that power metal as it was, let's say like early 2000, like in the highest peak, like it can't be done anymore. Because like basically then we are just like copying ourselves, and there's no innovation or movement towards something else if we are not trying to do something else. I don't know what is that. Else can mean like anything, but like to copy that kind of style, it's not gonna be. I personally think so that just copying that kind of like area power metal like late 90s, early 2000, that is not gonna be like good idea if you want to run this kind of like band thing like for a long way. Of course, like you can make some sort of like success out of it, but in a long run, it's not something that, well, I personally I don't want to do it, because why? Well, then we are fucking lazy if we just like do the same thing, same formula like again and again and again. It's not gonna be like fresh. It's not gonna be something like what we want to hear. You have to also understand that every time when we do songs, like we do the songs for ourselves, not for you or somebody else, not for the fans. So we do that kind of music what we want to hear, and that also explains it that fuck, like we cannot do another Black Diamond, or we cannot do another Hunting Hilo, because that's already done. So that's it then.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
That's right. So another question: what's your opinion with all these artificial intelligence stuff?
It's really interesting. Some people hate it. I fucking love it because it eases my work so much, because like all these like AI tools, music tools, it's fantastic stuff. Like I really love it. Chat GPT is the best thing ever, you can go over and find solutions for your tricky problems, and especially audio world. Like I need to find a capacitor for my guitar amplifier or power tubes and stuff, that kind of stuff. Like, it's fucking fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, that's right. And like you said, that may help you with work as producer. And talking about your work as a producer of records as Elysium, how can you work from the rest of Stratovarius, seeing from that difference to be a guitar player and the other hand be a producer?
Uh, it is actually total mind fuck. Let's say let's say this way. It's it's a two different worlds, like where you have to be able to judge also yourself with extreme cruelty, and that is something that when you're able to do that, also it puts your ego really fucking down. Like on you understand it that this is the best what you can do, and then the producer self saying that no, you have to fucking do it again. Now you do it again, and you do it fucking better. You have to do it better. So it's kind of like a process of like some sort of like sadomasochism kind of, you know sometimes I really hate it, sometimes I love it, but well, really problematic. But of course, like when I'm able to, when I'm done recording my guitar parts, and then I'm just focusing solely on all the other parts of the record, like drums, bass, and that kind of stuff. I really enjoy that part a lot, because then you can actually build up the songs the way you hear it in your head. And working with maybe some another producer, of course, like that might be helpful, it can be faster, but I think the ending result might not be the one what you're hearing in your head, because I have like really specific like thing. I'm hearing things, well, I hear voices in my head, but it's like you I have this kind of thing that I need to get this kind of sound which sounds like this in the speakers, and then I'm trying to just like getting, and after trial and error 1,000 times, then I'm able to get it, that kind of stuff. It's a slow process, but well, it is what it is. But that's the way I work. So demanding, sadistic, especially for yourself. That's the way it works.
Yeah, maybe, but like you said, it works. It works in that way. The current lineup of Stratovarius is the more longevity in their career. You, Timo, Jens, Lauri, and Rolf. So, what is the secret to keep all these personalities working together in with such a long time?
I think because everybody is kind of like really mellow. It's not. We don't have any problems with egos and stuff like that. So it's everybody knows their place. What everybody knows everybody else's specialties, like what they are really good at, and we try to harness that, and then just to keep the tasks around their specialties. So we we work as a group. Well, I think like I can't say, I can't describe our band as a business because it's a really shitty business. But we work as a group. That's why that because we know the good parts of everybody, and we try to just use the good parts of everybody, especially like when we are on tour and stuff like that. So it's we don't have any kind of like a drama or fights or that kind of stuff. So far so good. Let's see in the future. I really hope so that everything goes fine.
Yeah, that's All right, so let's start to closing the interview. Just a few more questions. First of all, what's next for Stratovarius? Like you said, music is going as when it needs to be, but you're still touring. You'll take a rest. What's next in the remains of 2025?
Well, we do now this Mexico tour. I think then we have just like one gig left in Finland, and then we take a little bit of rest and we write more songs. That's the plan, and then hopefully for the next year, like we have bunch of songs, and then we can start to also decide like what we start to record, or maybe we don't record, maybe we do more songs. It's kind of like a wheel going all the time. It never stops. The fucking madness never stops. So, and then next year, hopefully we do a tour, European tour, bunch of European festivals during the summer, but the spring we don't know yet that much, like what's gonna happen. But basically we're gonna have like small break after this. Of course, like we have been now touring relentlessly since the Survive album came out. So like almost 3 years, like on the road all the time. So it's been kind of like a demanding 2 years.
All right. Well,
Mm.
one last question. What means music in your life, Matias?
This is a good question. Well, I think music itself like means life for me. I feel life when I'm playing music. But I don't listen music anymore like what I used to do. I think like my mixing engineer and producing stuff killed my enthusiasm to listen music because everything sounds so fucking crap now. So I don't know. Like for me, I actually I listen a lot of music, especially new music, but I do it just for the professional reasons. It's really rare that I will pull out a record that this is the record what I really liked, and then I listen it. Because all the past times when I have been doing that, it's so fucking disappointing. Like, this is how it sounds like. This sounds so fucking shit. Like, why? So it's kind of like I think like in a good way. Like when I'm listening some music, like let's say some like Spotify lists or something like that. It's a good way to listen that I'm not in a studio, because in a studio environment it's so brutal. Like you can hear all the small mistakes and all this kind of stuff. Like it's not enjoyable, let's say it this way, anymore. Because you have like a memory of some album being really great, then you go to the studio and you listen it, and it fucking sucks. It's a super disappointing. I try to not to do it anymore. So yeah, music is kind of like it's a complicated thing, because in my case it means also work, it means also pleasure, it means so many different things. So well, for me, I wouldn't be here talking to you like if there wouldn't be music. So
That's right.
yeah.
Well, just for ending, Matias, please invite our followers to go and see the show in Stratovarius in Mexico.
Yes, definitely. So we're gonna play now, was it maybe 15 shows in Mexico for 3 weeks? It's gonna be fucking fantastic. Lots of new stuff, lots of old stuff, maybe some rarities as well. We try to bring some like cool stuff for the stage as well this time. So it's gonna be a bigger production. I really hope so. And we're gonna see you there. It's gonna be fantastic.